Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Desert of the Dark Crusade Season 2. As we begin yet another night within the clear, dusty streets of Odessa. Tonight, we focus once more on Sister Madelain. As she begins her journey to a lovely dinner with one of the higher-ranking figures within uh, the the royal hierarchy, not the noble hierarchy, the royal hierarchy. Attending a polite dinner with a Chancellor Bolos, a figure native to the city. His late 20s, maybe early 30s. He's had a very illustrious career for his age. And yes, Madeleine, you have been given a free pass into the nobles district. Not that it would have been particularly any particular trouble to make it in, but alas, mortal authorities have been wise enough to allow you entry through normal means.
Oh.
And that is where we begin this scene with Madeleine on her way to the home of this figure.
Madelain does seem, well, collected, more focused, more careful, perhaps, than normal. Just meeting some noble who fancies her. That's one thing, but this, and the nature of, well, investigations and other things, just make it so that Madelain is a bit more careful. She is informed several of her ghouls where she's going. She is made ready. She thinks that this will not be a problem. But she does take her precautions. And she will begin to approach this house.
As you begin to approach the house, it's a very beautiful house. Definitely one of the most opulent buildings in the district. Really is fit for the highest of nobility. Also, one of the largest. Also, one of the distinct differences between noble districts and pretty much every other district is that mainly because of the rather lacking amount of nobility relative to the teeming masses, means that houses can not only be a lot larger, but can also have rather large garden areas. This is definitely one of the spacier houses. You might even call it a small estate, really, within the city.
Madelain is, for one, just the only thing that's showing is her eyes. She has something covering the bottom of her face, and she's wearing her more illustrious clothing. And yeah, she will enter, and Is she greeted by servants or something like that?
Oh, yes, absolutely, upon seeing you. Um, well, they ask you what your business is first because your face is covered, so they don't actually really. They have a description of you, but obviously they don't really. They've never met you before. They've never seen your face. They don't know who you are. So,
She will say that she is expected by the master of the house.
okay. And yeah, he didn't actually give you a written invitation, so yeah, they'll run on back in, and within about a 10 to 15-second waiting time, so quite fast. They run back out and usher you in as graciously and apologetically as humanly possible. Which you found is not quite as much as they can't really, humans really can't grovel quite as well as a canine can. They haven't really mastered the art.
That is very true, but she appreciates the effort.
Hmm. They treat you as if you are a goddess, and they are but well, simple servants. And yeah, you are ushered in to the main room, not the foyer. Just up a small stairway, just up one floor. This building has about 5 floors. Again, quite very large for the time period, to be honest, outside of a castle. Um, and you meet with the chancellor in a small, I say small, spacious private dining room, but one that is not necessarily, it's not meant for a family, if you understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of paintings on frames and a drawer of some books in them. Kind of warm, uh, fitting candlelight, but medieval mood lighting of medieval mood lighting, and a small table for two, um, with the chancellor himself, who rises upon seeing you in, and
She removes the head covering, smiles at him.
what name did you give him again? You just call yourself Madelain? I think you just said Madelain.
I think it was another name. I actually think she called herself Marie.
Yeah, definitely began with an M. It was close to Madeleine, but it might not have been Madeleine. We'll say Marie, though. I don't mind giving you the benefit of the doubt on this one, particularly since I'm not going to spend a whole hour combing back through that scene. So, yes. He takes your hand and kisses it lightly. Ah, Lady Marie. It is so good to see you.
Likewise.
I am glad you accepted my invitation.
I'm glad to be hosted by such a generous host.
I am but a simple man, my lady. You flatter me.
A simple man with great taste. She smiles. and sits down.
That I might be guilty of. Um, he will ask you if you'd like anything before the meal. And of course, if there's anything she wants, he can provide it for her.
No, she will just say that she is already so infatuated with his generosity, she wouldn't want to ask for everything. He has given enough already.
Okay. In which case, he will set the servants to cooking the meal proper. Or rather, it has already been prepared to some extent. But obviously, now that you're here, cooking can begin and all that. You know how cooking works in the Dark Ages, unlike the ST. Uh,
Mm.
and yeah, a bit of time passes, and you'll be able to make some small talk. And Mr. Bolos will turn to you and go, "So, Lady Marie, how have your nights been? Sorry, not nights. You'd say days. How have your days been?"
They have been quite good. A bit of joyous anticipation for these. But traveling with all of the crime, all of the things happening, it does not do well for trading. Well, for some, I suppose, but stability for the small shops are not helped by crime and plagues and other things.
Yes, I'm glad to see that the military seen fit to end the curfew and allow business to return to normal, but there is still much to do within Riverside.
Indeed. Hardest hit by the plague. But it,
Yes, and much of its prior wounds self-inflicted by
but
the
an
selfish.
industrious man as yourself must already have many plans for Riverside.
Hmm. I'm thinking of trying to encourage more legitimate enterprise by securing the streets and maybe leveraging some weight against the Merchants Guild. They've been rather possessive of land ownership
Well,
as of late.
it
I think I
they
may
are
be
right.
able to provide them with a deal so that I might sell it on for a more amenable price to the common enterprising man.
A most noble pursuit. Give everyone a fair shake. Quite respectful. I suppose a person who is self-made has a certain respect for the ingenuity of potentially everyone.
Hmm.
But it is rare to see a man be so gifted, to rise so high, even on the Silk Road where fortunes change fast, but
What can I say? There are exceptions to every rule. How about yourself? Have you Has the rising of the curfew been kind to you?
well, there are certain things that one needs to do every once in a while, but mostly it has not affected me, not in any great matter. It is rare that I would have to consider it.
What was the last part of that statement? Sorry.
It was, she just stated that it was very rare that she actually had to consider it a problem or a hindrance for her. She's implying that she didn't get out much during the night.
Hmm. Yes, we tend to complicate our own problems. But I see you two are a lady of solution. You seem quite interested in small business.
Quite so.
How so?
Hmm. Well, I have found that helping not a big person, the royalties or a noble, but helping many, should we say, smaller people, can grant many favors. Helping many small merchants can do quite a few things here and there. One can make a career out of it, and that is what I am doing. It works well. Besides, as you can, I think, yourself attest to, I have certain charms.
Well, that I do not dispute.
Having many small businesses that you are on friendly terms with is very beneficial. If you need something from them to buy, you will get a good price, or if you need to direct others to them, well, it never hurts to have friends like that.
So you treat with the merchant class directly?
Smaller merchants, mostly along the river, fishermen, mm, different people who work at the docks. Nothing to your level yet.
Well, I must say you're a rare breed indeed. I find many among the noble class often delegate. I prefer the personal touch myself. I think it yields greater results.
If one can trust and one can trust and rely on one's subordinates. It is quite a good thing to delegate. But if one cannot, well, that is one of the true things about leadership, no? Finding what roles people feel the best and then directing them to it.
Hmm. Yes, I do think trust is quite important. I find these days that we are all too ready to look inward to ourselves rather than outward to others.
It would probably be at this time that food is served, I think.
Yes, the servants will come in and announce the food is uh, is here and all that.
And Madelain will sit there and very politely just listen to them and present it. And she will partake. She will eat and drink with him. She'll compliment him and compliment his chefs.
It's a variety of fresh vegetables, uh, onion, uh, cabbage, and lettuce with healthy dosings of pork and poultry, uh, layered with some form of rather deliciously scented sauce.
Hmm.
It is a dinner fit for nobles. And I do have to ask you, because it is obligatory, do you have deceptive eating?
I do.
Okay, then you have no problem doing this. Congratulations, you have upheld the silence today. Um, and yeah, Bolus is far more quiet when he eats.
She will watch him. She will just see, does he enjoy his food?
He
What is it
does.
like? Like just
He does make talk with you between eating, of course. Um, but he doesn't. Obviously, since he's eating, he's a lot quieter. The conversation is a lot more interspersed. He
mhm.
tries to keep the conversations fairly. He's been keeping it fairly friendly, not too intimate for the time being.
Mm. Some time will pass. They will
Some
eat.
time will pass. He finishes the meal. He wipes his lips clean. He's a tidy eater, uh, nonetheless. And as you eat as well, you find that the meal cooked up is quite delicious. You really haven't had. This is kind of once every decade or so. You know, you get to eat something that's really delicious. Particularly since Madelain doesn't really spend a whole ton of time within noble circles.
Hmm.
Having that opportunity to have one of their fine dinners again is quite refreshing. If there's one thing to appreciate about the noble high life, it is the food. The food is good. And Bolos kind of quietly and politely gestures to the servants to take away plates once you are finished. And he again politely asks you if you once you are done. And yeah, he will take a moment, kind of, to process that he is kind of full. It is a filling dish. Did you enjoy the dinner, Marie?
Very much.
I'm happy.
Well, I must repay you a kindness for such an elaborate feast. Tell me, is there anything else, now that we have eaten? Something more, she smiles, like smirks a bit, serious, you wish to discuss?
Um, there's a sort of how to put it. Moment of consideration. It's hard to describe, really. I don't really have a word for it. Um, there's a pause. I'm sure we have much to discuss, but perhaps not in a setting for fine dining.
Perhaps not.
But if you'd wish to join me further, I'd appreciate it greatly.
I would love to. She smiles, gets up slowly.
As he will get up, he'll take your hand, or he'll go arm in arm with you. And as you're going, he has you pulled in a little bit more closely to him than before. But as you're going up, he says, "Lady Marie, I must ask, do you read in anything in particular?"
Oh, I'm quite capable woman, as you can perhaps think, as you may have gathered. I do read quite a few things here and there.
Anything in particular? I've got quite the library.
Well, there are quite a few things that take my curiosity, especially those of the more mystical ways of this world. And they are fascinating to me. Old knowledge, research,
Why? Beautiful, intelligent, and spiritual. You've got quite the track record indeed.
Hmm. You would be surprised.
Oh, I'm sure I would be. I'm sure you are not done surprising me this evening.
She just smiles to him. She doesn't say anything about that.
Kind of make your way to the bedroom. I'm actually going to roll a thing now. Actually, get up Discord.
I have set it up in Dice Roll 3. Please
Thank you.
ignore the 2 first rolls I made because that was wrong.
What's your instinct?
My instinct is 3, I believe.
Okay.
3.
Okay, I want you to answer this question in chat.
Is it in private message or in the Hangout?
Hangouts. I think I know the answer to this, but
I don't know if you agree, but I think that is it.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that advice.
What? Okay, then what would you...
Let me rephrase the question. There you go. I think that's a better way to put it.
Oh, that is actually a very good question. Well, yeah, I think this would be the answer. Because specific thing about... Yeah, she has been included in some other things regarding Lilith, for one thing. So...
Okay. Okay. What else he leads you into his room? You do see it's a very opulent room, kind of large bed chamber with curtains around the bed and the windows. And as he stated, he does actually have quite the collection of books.
Mm-hmm. Madelain will begin to just have a look at the titles and the books and just begin to look at titles and just see if there's anything, like if there's like lots of books out of the ordinary or if there's just a couple. And I will roll you a perception investigation.
Um, as you're looking around the room, you kind of veer off towards his books. He obviously kind of lets go of your arm. And as you're kind of looking through the books, you kind of feel his arms wrap around your waist as he says, "Found something you like?"
Oh, I might. Why? I have found quite a few things in here I very much appreciate. She looks around still. She doesn't stop him. I mean, after she's looked over and just hasn't really seen anything that springs to her, like, just springs up at her, she turns around, looks at him, smiles, just says, "So, you have shown me all these fine, fine books. You have given me a wonderful evening, hosted me so graciously, fed me. I wonder, is there anything I can do?"
Marie, there is nothing you need to feel.
But I want to. She kisses him.
He kisses back. And I'll roll something again. You want to roll me perception awareness? I won't tell you the diff.
Awareness. That is, well, depending on difficulty. One success on difficulty 7.
Yeah, difficulty 7.
Yeah, one success.
You get a vague sense of you're not sure. Um, you get a vague sense of oddness just having occurred a moment ago.
Madelain will take a look around.
Oh no, wait 1 minute. I need to type something in chat. There you go.
As in presence?
Um, Not really. but with only one success, it's the difference is effectively negligible. Like it's the outcome is the same.
Mm.
The outcome is the same. That's why I use the word.
Fair enough.
Um,
Tell me. And as she looks in his eyes, will you allow me to make a dominate roll on him?
um, let me check because that might be a bit considering Madelain's current feelings for him.
That is why I ask.
Um,
She won't do anything. She will actually just ask him a question. She's not going to make him do anything other than that.
you may not ask him anything that would implicate him or endanger him.
Okay, I was thinking that she would ask him what makes him so special. But
Yeah, she
yeah,
can do that. She can do that. Yep.
it might have another implication or infraction, but yeah, she is going to. What is it? What is the difficulty? I think it's his willpower, right?
Yeah.
I do believe I have 3 successes, at least.
Yeah, you get 3 successes. That's a good roll. Um, he will say, um, hmm. I'm a man of many gifts and blessings, dear Marie.
Would it be fair
Men,
to?
men such as me seldom get the opportunity to express themselves. I am one of those lucky few.
Mm, I will make your dreams come true, and I hope you can express yourself well. As she kisses him again, she will begin to remove her clothing.
Yeah. The two will begin to become far more intimate with each other as the night progresses.
But Madelain will want this guy closer. Would you say that it is fair for her to feed him blood?
No. That I would disallow, I think. I think
Okay.
that would be considered. Um, hmm. You actually, no, you can try. Madeleine can try. It depends on how she goes about doing it. How does she attempt to feed him blood in this very intimate situation?
She will, at some point, when he is, I think, having a bit like a break, she will go and get wine for the both of them. And she will mix the wine in his goblet with her blood.
He will insist that you stay, and will have wine made for the both of them.
She will comply. She will just say, fine, that will be great. And she returns. But she will drink from him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He tastes really good. No, better than most humans. You certainly haven't tasted a mortal this good in quite a few years.
Hmm.
Certainly the best Odessa has had to offer in the past few years.
Well, after some time, Madelain will. He's probably like, if she drinks from him, he will probably be tired or out of it at some point. And probably fall asleep.
Um, no, I'll have him make a roll. Or stamina for the next one. Okay. Nah, he gets 3 successes. He's able to stay awake. Um, kind of after you're finished with each other, he's definitely much more tired because you have fed from him. But he is actually quite hardy. You notice, because as you say, most mortals would probably be nodding off or just asleep at this point. He is not. He just has his arms wrapped around you in bed with each other.
Hmm. I wish that I could stay forever, but I am afraid I must leave.
Oh no,
But
please stay.
can I make a willpower roll to see if I can insist?
Yeah. Yes, you can. To resist presence, you'll need to spend a willpower point and
I will do so.
make a willpower roll difficulty 8.
Current or primary or permanent willpower?
You roll your permanent willpower. Okay, you get a single success. So yes, you are able to insist in this circumstance. Shouldn't be a problem. Well, I mean, it's not really a problem in general. You resist the effect, so you know. Yeah, you're able to insist.
Does she notice that this like she's obviously cares for him. She doesn't want him to get hurt or anything, but she's still able to. Will probably also be like just interested in this guy because he is actually very fascinating. Although there is probably something in the back of her mind going, something's off. She doesn't know what yet, but she does realize that something happened. But she we'll look for if this seems to like the fact that she is able to say, "Yeah, I'm actually going." If this like comes like, is this something he seems surprised by?
Roll me perception empathy. This rolling on all his best dice.
It doesn't matter. I have two ones.
That's really unfortunate. Yeah, you've been unlucky today.
Yeah, I have really
Um,
been unlucky.
he looks. He's difficult to read. He's always been a little bit hard to read now that you think about it. Like you weren't really able to read him that well at the party either. Um, he seems quite adept at masking himself, or maybe he is just honest, and this is his true face, and that is perhaps why he's so difficult to read. You're so used to looking behind the mask that it kind of almost fails to occur to you for a moment that he might not actually be wearing one. Um, but in any case, he says, if only for a few more minutes.
She gets up and she just beckons him closer. Tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, I will return. Perhaps you will read a book for me?
Yes, perhaps we could study together.
Well,
The intricacies of business and each other.
quite so.
He kind of softly rubs his hand against your thigh and he kisses you.
Yes, she kisses back, definitely. Holds his head. But she will begin to get dressed. It is quite a thing to have a friend like you. I wish I could stay. Wish I could stay forever, but I will return tomorrow. As soon as I can. As soon as my work allows me.
I look forward to seeing you.
As do I. And you will be able to tell that she is being fairly honest.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
She also just stands there for a moment, just wanting to stay, but kind of just almost like forcing herself to go. But yeah,
He will walk up to her in that kind of those spare few seconds and kiss her rather deeply.
she returns it.
have your work. I'll see you tomorrow.
And Madelain will smile and leave.
And yeah, I think that's how we can end our scene. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time.